I'm Big Al. He's Big Peat. Bring it on. What about you whiskey lovers? And yes, welcome to another episode of Whiskey Straight with me, as you know, Big Al. And it's an episode with a wee bit of a difference, but I'll explain that to you in a very short moment. Thanks for tuning in, folks. It's a pleasure to have your company, and if you'd like to support the channel as well as subscribing, all the relevant links are down below, and thank you very much to my patrons and those who support me on Subscribestar. So, as you can see from the title of this is going to be Big Al v Big Peat. But, well, not really. One of the things that I haven't been too good at on this channel is reviewing peated whiskies. Yes, I have reviewed a few, but it's been a wee bit sporadic. They're few and far between. But while I do like some, and I really don't like others, it's all still a wee bit hit and miss for me, to the extent that I would rather usually sort of skip a peated bottle in favour of like a sherry bomb or something like that. But I have accumulated quite a few peated whiskey samples thanks to very generous people who have been sending them to me. So I thought, the time is right to start a new series which will become weekly, and it's going to be called Meet the Peat, where I'll go through a range of samples and I'll decide based on the tasting experience whether it's going to be a Big Al yay or a Big Al nay. So, Big Peat I thought would be the best one to start with because, well, it's got the right name to start off a series like this. And this is courtesy of that other Northern Irish guy you all love, Big Jim, the whiskey novice, him of the big, beautiful beard. So thank you, Jim, for this sample. So let's get into the details of this whiskey. It's an independent, blended, small batch bottling from Douglas and Lang, featuring whiskies from Islay. And now, these include some big hitters. You've got Ardbeg, all the rage at the minute, Kalila, my former nemesis, Bowmore, which I've had a really bad experience with, the 15 darkest.
Still makes me quiver.
And even that elusive Port Ellen. So, I'm expecting big things, but the specification here is it's 46% ABV, not yard coloured, non-chill filtered, and it'll cost you around 43 quid at recommended retail price. So with all that, into consideration, obvious non-age statement, I'm expecting big things. So if you've got to pour this, bring it into your glass and we'll drink along together. If not, pour a little sample of something smoky and peaty and we'll have a wee drink together. We'll start off on the nose. Sláinte. Salty, peaty, CR, very, very briny. And as you know, well, if you've been following the channel for a while, I live right beside the coast here. A couple of 100 metres just down there, and the window is open here to let a wee bit of air in. So I do know very well what that feeling is like. It comes across very drying on the nose as well. Campfire ash. And then something that I used to get a lot round where I live now, and the other town I used to live in Kilkeel, which is the biggest fishing port in the whole of Ireland. That aroma of a fish smokehouse. It just lingers there in the air. And you know what? Between this smoke, peat, brininess, there's a really lovely balance that Douglas and Lang have got here. Really, really nice on the nose. So let's get into the palate. Straight off, it's sweet. It's sweet peat, it's sweet ashiness. Again, it's like that peaty campfire embers blowing in the wind. And it just portrays that image of the sun going down and that coastal campfire. And this is one thing that I've found with some of the other peaty whiskies I've done. They tend to bring pictures and into your head and make you reminisce about your youth and times gone by. And that's maybe because, apart from a few years in London, I've lived on the coast all my life. And it does bring those things back to memory, back to life. Again, it's coming across as a wee bit drying on the palate, but it's still full of that sweet flavour. And then we even get a bit of mango as well, which is a wee bit unusual. Salty peat, brininess coming into play again. And then licorice. Yeah, nice, chewy licorice that lasts. I know licorice isn't everybody's taste, but it's licorice that isn't too bitter. It's licorice that sweet side, probably coming from the Kalila, keeps a nice balance too. Very, very nice. I'm digging this. The mouthfeel, it's slick, it's oily, it's very coating on the palate. A wee tad drying as it goes from the mid palate to the rear of the palate, but as it does that, it lingers and it lingers. It's got a long finish, and it has that salty, peaty brininess, the ashiness running right throughout. You know what? I'll set this down and just let you know straight off, it's a good start. This is a Big Al. Yay! So, it's not so much Big Al v Big Peat, it's Big Al. Come on, Big Peat, you're my mate now. So thanks once again, Jim, for your generosity in sending this to me. I really do appreciate it. Thanks again, you guys, for tuning in. Is this the start of my journey to being a peathead? Who can tell? But it well could be. So if you guys have had this, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thanks again for tuning in. I really do appreciate your support. And until the next time, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whiskey the way you like it. Sláinte. Thanks for watching, folks. I really do appreciate it. Please check out these other reviews, and if you'd like to support the channel, the best way is by subscribing, liking and commenting. And don't forget to ring that bell for all video notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. Cheers.